Alright, Shalom. Shalom, first and foremost. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to all apostles and elders of great mills, doing the good well. Peace, love, salutations to the Akim, Akwaf, the money four corners of the year that sincerely believe in Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Alright, and sincerely waiting on our Lord Yahweh Shai and Mashiach to return and to receive us. Alright, Abarat is that we be a part of the elect. To you big brothers and young brothers and myself, Yahweh Shimon Shai Vatazawi, we are doing the right thing and pushing this word in sincerity and in truth that we will receive that crown. Abarataza. Alright. This lesson, alright, is basically gonna go into Revelation 10. Alright, I just wanna say Salakia again. I don't have a phone, but Abarataza, Yahweh Shimon Shai Vatazawi, that I will receive one soon. Alright, I'm working towards it and I'll be back up and running. Alright, on my own device. I will basically, I had this breakdown today and I basically wanted to share it with the Akim, with the young brothers also. And for those that don't know, will be edified. Alright, and hopefully it's edifying. This is the breakdown for Revelation 10. Alright. First verse to the last verse, straight down to verse 11. Alright. It's pretty much a quick breakdown. Alright, but there are key things in it that solidifies that what we into, and it even brings our points of the chariots, alright, of John the Revelator, of reincarnation. It brings them things to life, seeing that we have the understanding that we have now, alright, through the strong and power of Yahweh Shimon Shai, right, by the way of our apostles and elders, and ultimately Haraka Kodash. Alright, so Revelation 10 and verse 1, it says, and I saw another mighty angel, and who we see in this is John the Revelator. Alright, Shai is a favorite apostle, John the Revelator. Alright, he was the one that received the revelation, alright, the revealing of the things that was foretold, alright, that would have happened in these times. Are we in? Alright, so it says, and I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud. Now that basically is symbolizing that the angel came with a chariot. Alright, we know that cloud it will go back to that cloud that lead us out of Egypt, which we know was a chariot. Alright, which we know was a chariot, and we know it's a chariot. Alright, there are people that come against it, basically these Christians. Maybe there are some camps out there that don't believe in the chariots, It has some camps that don't even believe in Yahweh shiny miracles he did. Alright, but the Most High blind them so that they wouldn't know what to whatever Shimon Shai that he allowing you to receive this truth. Alright, just as I am, and each and everyone that in this, alright, pushing it in truth and sincerity, alright. So it says a cloud, and use of a cloud which led the Israelites in the wilderness, which we know that was a huge chariot. Alright, it was a huge chariot. Alright. It says, and a rainbow was upon his head, and now going into the light. Alright, that would have been shining on the chariot, all them different colors. Alright, that will be emitting off of the chariot. Alright. It says, and his face was as it were the sun, and now going into the brightness. Right, the brightness of the chariot. Alright, and his feet as pillars of fire. And that basically going into the fire that would have been emitting off it also. Alright, seeing that it was coming down. Alright, Elijah, when Elijah showed the chariot, he said, Father, the chariot and the horsemen thereof, and we say there was like a flame of fire. It's in the book of Kings. Right. Check up in horsemen. can. All right. 2 Kings 2:12. And it says, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father. Let's start at verse 11. All right. It says, and it came to pass as they still went on and talked. All right. This was Elisha and his understudy, his brother, in his spirit. All right. His understudy pretty much was with him. All right. And basically he asked him a question, because he told him that Elisha told him that he would have to go. All right. Because Elisha didn't die. All right. Matter of fact. All right. Let me start at verse 6. All right. It says, and Elisha said unto him, tarry, I pray thee here, for the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai had sent me to Jordan. And he said, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they too went on. And he was speaking to his understudy. It says, and 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off, and they too stood by Jordan. And Elisha took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, that they too went over the dry ground. And that's to show that spiritual power that Elisha had. Alright, that was given to him by the hands of Yahweh Shemeshai. And it came to pass when they were gone over, that Elisha said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. He wanted power, and all thereof, whatever came with that. Alright, and he said, thou ask a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire. A chariot of fire. They're going to that word chariot. Alright, a chariot of fire. Right there it says Rechev.
Strong's H7393. Rechev.
Alright. It says a team, chariotry, and millstone riders. Alright, millstone riders. Alright. Chariot, upper millstone as riding on a lower millstone. Alright, horsemen, pair of horsemen, men riding ass riders, camel riders. They basically go into a vehicle, chariot, millstone, wagons, variant. It goes back into a vehicle, right? That is what's a chariot. So he saw a vehicle of fire. Alright, what did he say? Behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, a vehicle of fire, and horses of fire. And horses go back into power of fire, right? And parted them both asunder. It took up Elijah, all right. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind. He went up by a whirlwind, which Ezekiel speaks about. When he saw a chariot, he described it as a whirlwind, all right. So Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel. The chariot of Israel and the horsemen there. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. Alright, and that was basically the point. Alright, that being a cloud, or that being a chariot that was seen of John the Revelator. Alright, so it says, and a rainbow was upon him that goes out into the light. I was emitting off for the chariot, round about the chariot. Alright, and his face was as it were the sun. I'm speaking about the chariot, being that it was engulfing fire. It was bright, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open. Now that's a book. Alright, that's a book, because the angel was inside the chariot. That little book is speaking about the scriptures. Alright, the scriptures. And he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth. Now at that time, John the Revelator was on the island of Patmos. Alright, so when he saw the chariot, one side landed on the island and one side landed on the sea. Alright, one side landed on the sea, one side landed on the island. It was so great. It was a big chariot. Alright, it says, and he cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roared, and when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voice. All right, and we know that when them thunders uttered, that was the voice of the angel. It was our voice. All right, in Acts, it tells you that when the Apostle Paul was going to Damascus, all right, he heard the voice, but the men that was with him, they heard the voice of thunder. All right, they heard the voice of thunder. But the men that only the Apostle Paul heard the voice of the Lord. All right, you can find that in Acts 22. All right, and going all the way down. All right, it goes on to say, and when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. All right, see, so it says write them not. If it was written, we would have known, but it is not written, because the Apostle Paul was told not to write them. So therefore we don't know what the angel told the Apostle John. It was just for him to know. Alright, it was just for him to know. So we're moving on. Verse 5. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth, and lifted up his hand to heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever and ever, which is the Ancient of Days, alright, who created heaven and the things that therein, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that they should be time no longer. Alright, seal up the things, basically the end. Alright, it says, read over 6 one more time. And swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound the mystery of the Most High, should be finished, as he had declared his servants the prophets. So basically it was a wrapping up of things. Maybe John heard about the wrapping up of things, the end will be it all, how it's all gonna end. Alright, verse 8. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, go and take the little book, which is the scriptures, which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I basically going into the understanding that when we found out that we was Israelites, seeing that we received the scriptures, we received the understanding. Alright, the scriptures, the basics, the milk, and it was sweet in my mouth. We went out and we tell everybody the Israelites, we and all was congregating and just trying to get this word out, because that it was that sweetness in my belly when we just get. Alright, it was that sweetness in my mouth. So, alright. But when it started to get bitter in my belly, that is when we started to go through the afflictions in the street. When the apostles started to go through the afflictions. Alright, because in all, come matter the understanding, we had to understand that we come in the street to catch hell. Why? Because we transgress the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yeshai. Why? Because we don't literally have with power here with us, as in like Yahweh Shai is here. He's here, what he's here in spirit. Much more than gonna be when Yahweh Shai is here in physical. Right? That no enemy is gonna be able to touch us, nobody's gonna be able to harm us. We're gonna have that spiritual power. We're gonna be Yasha Allah again. Alright, entirely we're gonna be here, Prince of the power. Alright, there's not gonna be one of us that's gonna be degenerate in our nation. Alright. It says, and I took the little book, verse 10, out of the angel's hand and ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey. Yeah. And that's the basic understanding of the words, the mysteries. Alright, that the kingdom coming, but we had to go through to get the kingdom. That the part with the affliction that I go through. Alright. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. Yeah, because John knew that he had to go through afflictions. Alright. The apostles knew that they had to go through affliction. We know that we had to go through affliction because, how should I say, some of us might have been beheaded for the truth. and not might, but will. Alright? Verse 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Now what I mean? That mean that John the Revelator, I'm going to read it over one more time before I give my answer. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again. Again. Now we live in far beyond this time now. We live in the end. So does that say John the Revelator is still living somewhere in a cave or in Mount Patmos? Is he still alive in that sense, living 2,000 years? No. John would have died and he would have come back. How he would have come back? Through reincarnation. Re is back, incarnation in the flesh. Alright, the scriptures basically speaks about the incarnation. It speaks about it clearly. Alright. And that is what's taking place in this scripture here, that he would have to come back and prophesy again. So, Lord willing, John the Revelator is here or no? John the Revelator could be very well here right now, because Yahweh Shai said himself, alright, that he was, when he was speaking to Peter, what is this to do with you if I would have him tarry until I come? Alright. So he said, and he said unto me, the angel said unto him, thou must prophesy again before many people and nations and tongues and kings. Alright, so he would have to come back. Which we know Abaratazar is probably here already. Alright, now that is basically the breakdown of Revelation 10. Alright, I pray that it was edifying to the Sakayash Allah and to you sincere brothers. Alright, I push this gospel with truth and sincerity. If there happen to be any mistakes, I always come back and correct it. Alright, but on truth and sincerity, I believe that is the breakdown there. And I pray that it was edifying to the Sakayash Allah. Alright, so giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yakakodash. Double honors to my Allah apostles and elders, great millstone at the well. Peace, love, salutations to the Akim or Akot, the more folk owners that you that sincerely push this gospel. Slap. That sincerely believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, so like that for going so quick, I go down to the works just now. But to you, Akim and Akwatim that sincerely believe in Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Shalom. And to you, big brothers and young brothers that push this gospel in truth and sincerity, Hashem, Shalom to you. Alright, Rabbi Hab. You'll keep pushing the word and keep doing the work. Alright, giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai. Till next time, Hashem, Shalom.